Hi there and welcome back to Japan, where we're checking out a little bit of what I believe is Raise a SUILEN? SUILEN? I'm going to be honest with you, I don't really know. I mean, obviously if you clicked on the link, then after recording all of this, I worked out what the name of the song and the artist was. However, this is one of the links I got from our suggestions for our now unfortunately defunct live week, which was a whole list of songs that I'd asked you guys to recommend to me, which were really good to listen to live. And this is the one that, one of the ones that came along on that. And so I got hold of that link, checked out the song, but just looking at the name that's put on here, and it's one of those things where have you ever seen the back of one of those Japanese, like a Japanese sports car usually? It's never just manufacturer and model. There's always like a sub-model and loads of extra things added on the end. This is like this. I mean, looking at the very first frame, it's like a declaration of XXX. That might be the name of the song. Tokyo MX, I'm guessing that's the venue or the promoter. Bang Dream, that's like the thing that these artists all come from. Raise, SUILEN, I don't know how you pronounce that. And then in brackets, Genesis. Which of these is the song name and which of these is the artist name? At this current moment, I'm struggling to know. However, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to give you a review of the song. Now, if you want to see the reaction, I just recorded that before, and you can see that by clicking in the link in the description below. Apologies, I can't put them on YouTube anymore just to do with some problems we've had. So go check out the reaction if you want first of all, before I give you the review. Have you checked it out? Have you done it? Are you ready for the review? Pause this if you need to check it. Too late. Here we go. Here's the review. So, that was not what I expected at all. I mean, I've got to admit, the Bang Dream thing, I haven't heard a huge amount of artists from it, but I've heard a couple now. And yeah, there are some harder edge artists in there, which I really like. But I also like the poppy side. And what I kind of expect more from these guys is the poppy side. I mean, I know they're connected to there's a whole anime thing around them. And I've heard some, groups from this, Poppin' Party. Obviously, Poppin' Party did a song with Silent Siren themselves, quite a poppy rock song, band. You have things like that. And most of what we heard from them hasn't been overly heavy. Now, this went in an interesting direction in that this seemed to have, elements of soul, heavy metal, and of a real EDM vibe to it as well. Now, obviously, it was some of the girls in the band, girls, women, I don't know how old they are, they look young because they were dressed in that sort of cutesy way that you'd expect from the whole Bang Dream thing. However, they look like anime characters. However, the lead singer was very much, she just kind of looked like a mature rock singer. Her voice was very soulful as well. It wasn't your sort of normal higher scale singing. It was very low, soulful, big singing voice, and she sung with a lot of power. The beat of the song, the way the drumming was done, it was fantastic, but it was a very simple sort of rave style beat. The kick drum was on every beat. It was a boom, 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 boom. There wasn't the spaces between that you'd get maybe in more normal, like in rock songs or in pop songs, for the best part. They had the soulful singing. It had the EDM style beat, and it had the real rock guitars, which you could tell from the solo. And also, there was that bit when it goes into the bridge where it goes really sort of heavy metal style headbangery. So this had a real mixture of things, and none of them fell out of place. I must say, I was really impressed at how well everything just kind of synced up and worked together in this song. So massive credit. I found this to be a really well executed, really enjoyable song. I still think that the chant they're singing, I'm sure they're saying something else, but to me, I'm 100% sure it sounds like "Let's Do a Handstand," which would be a really interesting subject for a song, and doesn't match any of these names written on the first frame of the video. If it was just called "Let's Do a Handstand," then I would be convinced. So, the whole chant thing really worked well. I like the fact that you had that heavy beat, you had the chanting as well. It made it immediately engaging. Perhaps the only problem with that is it came in with such power. And this can sometimes be the problem with songs like this, which come in with such impact, is you then get that element of how do you keep that going all the way to the end? Because, I mean, to have any form of crescendo, to have any form of big sort of final payoff, you need to do something at the end, which is more of a works more than the beginning. And usually the only way that can happen is if you start with like a really big intro and then the entire song sort of goes through, is catchy, but always feels like it's waiting to resolve. And then you go back to doing the same thing at the end. There are some songs that do that. However, you get some songs that don't work so much. I mean, I'm thinking of songs like, One Vision by Queen. That's a great example of a song that starts so strong that it never can top it, and it ends up kind of, towards the end fading out. You get songs like that. Even sort of Back in Black by AC/DC is another one where it starts so strong that the song can't maintain that all the way through. And this to me is an example of that. It starts off so strong that it's good. It works. You can listen to it all the way through. However, it's used all of its power up at the beginning. It's never going to top how powerful the beginning of the song is, that minute when it first grabs you with that. So you can keep on chanting, you can keep on enjoying it, but you've kind of got a full taste of the entire power of the song straight off the bat. There are great things like in the bridge. I thought that was a nice little change up. However, these all feel like ways of sort of meandering and changing around rather than building on top of what was already there. That said though, that's a minor sort of disagreement. Just as someone who personally, I've got a bit of a bias towards songs that build towards a crescendo. I always like songs to have a sort of a direction, always better for me. However, that's just, like I said, that's a personal taste thing. I do think though that this works really well in live format. I think it was a great selection, and thank you very much for suggesting this as a live song. I do think that you chose well because this works brilliantly as a live performance song. And yeah, I really like a lot of things about this and how it kind of wasn't what I expected, how it was so well executed. I think that, just like I say, it perhaps feels a little bit like, because it's quite long as well, it feels a little bit like it doesn't really have anywhere to go after it started. It's just a very sort of nice idea sonically. You know, it's got a nice sound, it's got some nice execution in it. So basically the problem is I think that would prevent it from having massive replay value. I don't think this is a song you could sit and listen to over and over again. However, if you were in a live venue like this and this suddenly came on, you'd be like, yeah, that's a cool song to hear live. Play that once, I'll really enjoy it, and then we move on to the next song. Anyway, there you go. That's my opinion of this song. So like I say, I'm going to take a guess that the song name, like I say, I'll work this out afterwards and put it on the thumbnail and the video title. I'm going to guess the song is called A Declaration of XXX, which is a weird enough title as it is. And I'm going to guess the artist is called, again, this is really hard to say. I think it's Rise, but that's because of the way you would say those letters if they were then translated into Japanese. However, Rise is actually spelled with an A, so Rise SUILEN. I don't know. Guys, if you enjoyed this, if you know about the artist, as always, I never pre-research anything. That's the whole point of this channel. It's a genuine reaction from someone who's worked with music all my life and worked in the Japanese industry as well. So for me, it's really interesting to pick up on these things. However, you guys know more about the artist and these things. And of course, music is open to objective and subjective opinions. So tell me what you think and what you know about this artist, this song, either way. And I'm looking forward to reading the comments, getting there as much as I can. Thank you so much for joining us, obviously, since we had to restart the channel. So we've lost all those videos from back in the day. It's really nice having you guys back on there as we start making new content again. So thank you for joining us again for that. And as always, like I say, get in the comments to discuss it. You can discuss more different things with us as well on our Discord. You can check out the other videos we've got. We've still got quite a few videos on this channel now. Now we started back up. You can go on our Reddit if you want to. There's some interesting stuff on there. As well as the Reddit, we have a Patreon. Big thank you to our Patreon followers and supporters. Thank you so much. And yeah, just really appreciate anything you want to do that brings you into our little community. So until I see you hopefully very soon on my next video, for now, from Japan, ciao ciao.